She is first female lecturer, professor, and head of the laboratory at the Sorbonne. First woman science Nobel laureate. First person to receive 2 Nobel Prizes. Only woman ever who received 2 Nobel Prizes. Only person who received 2 science Nobel Prizes in 2 different categories. Only person whose daughter also received a Nobel Prize. A first woman who was buried in Pantheon in Paris for her own merits. Please welcome Marie Skłodowska-Curie. Curie was born Maria Skłodowska in Warsaw, Poland, to school-teacher parents of modest means who encouraged their children's educational aspirations. Determined to pursue a scientific career, Maria struck a deal with her sister, Bronia, agreeing to fund Bronia's medical degree in France by working as a governess. Bronia later helped Marie move to Paris and enroll at the prestigious Sorbonne, where she studied chemistry, math, and physics. Curie met her future husband, Pierre, while doing postgraduate research at the lab he supervised. The pair immediately bonded over the mutual interest in magnetism and fondness for cycling, and a year later they were married in Sceaux, France. They used the money they had received as a wedding present to purchase bicycles for the many long rides they took together. When Pierre met Marie, he wasn't yet well known, nor was he a member of the French Academy. He didn't publish much, didn't care much about priority, and wasn't interested in recognition and fame. It was Marie who started to work on radioactivity in 1896, being intrigued by the physicist Henry Becquerel's accidental discovery of the phenomena. Curie began studying uranium rays. Pierre soon joined her in her research. 2 years later, the Curies discovered polonium, named after Marie's homeland, and radium. In 1903, they shared the Nobel Prize in Physics with Becquerel for their groundbreaking work on radioactivity. The story of their joint Nobel Prize in 1903 is interesting in itself. It appears that for the 1903 Physics Prize, only Pierre had been nominated. However, a member of the prize-awarding Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, Gösta Mittag-Leffler, a mathematician, wrote a letter to Pierre about the situation. Pierre wrote back that Marie's contribution to the work is essential. She in fact had been nominated in 1902 by a French foreign member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, which had been asked for a nomination for the 1903 prize, but on this occasion failed to submit a nomination. It was argued that this foreign member still wanted Marie to receive the prize. The prize-awarding institution made an exception, and Marie Curie was duly included in the award. After Pierre's tragic death, in a 1906 accident, Marie was appointed to his seat at the Sorbonne, becoming the university's first female professor. Just 3 years earlier, she had been the first woman in France to earn a doctorate. Today, France's leading scientific and medical complex bears the name of both Curies. The first woman to be granted a Nobel Prize, Curie later became the first person to earn a second one. In 1911, she received the prestigious award in chemistry this time for her isolation of radium and other accomplishments. This time, Marie received 2 nominations. One was from France and the other from the Swedish Svante Arrhenius. She was announced to receive the award, but when the love story between Paul Langevin became public, the Academy requested Arrhenius to write to Marie and asked her not to come to Stockholm in December to attend the award ceremony. She responded that she would go because she felt that the prize was given for her scientific work, not for her private life. Indeed, she went to Stockholm for the ceremonies with Irene, her daughter. The Nordic Women's Rights Association strongly supported Marie and stood up for herself. During World War I, Curie used her radiography expertise to set up dozens of mobile and permanent X-ray stations, which helped doctors diagnose and treat battlefield injuries. They became known as Petites Curies for their famous creator. Decades of handling radioactive materials, the effects of which were poorly understood at the time, ultimately took a toll on Curie. By the 1920s, she had developed muscle aches, anemia, cataracts, and a host of other symptoms. She died on July 4, 1934, of leukemia caused by exposure to radiation. Curie's daughter, Irene, followed in her mother's footsteps, earning a doctorate in physics and conducting important research on synthesized radioactive elements. In 1935, she and her husband, Frédéric Joliot, shared the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their discovery of artificial radioactivity. In 1995, the remains of Curie and her husband were enshrined in Paris Pantheon, a mausoleum reserved for distinguished French thinkers. She became the second woman to receive this honor and the first to earn it through her own achievements. Among her writing, Curie left behind this thought: "Nothing in life is to be feared, it's only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less."